All right, so Moe has been telling us now for weeks that there's something weird going on outside his apartment, and he even brought in audio to prove it to us because we thought he was messing with us.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this, but yeah, there were some things that have been going on in my apartment. There was a time when, like, I had a plug that was unplugged. No one lives there. I never go over there. It had no reason to be unplugged. That was a little weird to me. There was a time when my family came over and my sister woke up and her earring was out of her ear, but it was in the bed and it had the back in it. Like, and I don't see how that's possible. So there's been noises. It was just like these little things. And then one day, the grand finale of it all was when I checked my ring because it kept going off because of the motion, a Ring doorbell. Like sometimes if it's motion, it'll go off. And so it kept going off and it kept going off. And when I went to check to see what it was, there was no one there. But then I heard these sounds, even though no one was there. And then that was the point when I started to think, okay, I might have something going on in here.
So Moe one morning comes in and he's like, okay, I know I've been telling you guys about it, but this is the audio from my Ring doorbell right here. And we all started to believe at this point.
So creepy.
It is creepy, but it's also an apartment. So you're thinking maybe it's picking up a sound down the hall or something, right?
Right, exactly. And then I got a couple DMs from listeners who actually live in my building who have said that they have also had experiences. So that made me wonder is it in the hallway? Is it in the building? Maybe it's not exactly my apartment. So I just wasn't sure. And then so that's when me and Ed started to have a conversation on the phone. And he was asking me about the things that I experienced that, that he should look for and what he should be aware of. And so he asked me, was there any reason, anything happened in my life recently that someone might have been with me? And I told him my grandmother passed. And he asked, did I ever, ask for her or anything like that? And I told him, well, there was this one time which was very creepy to me when I did ask my grandmother for a sign. I was like, Grandma, you got to give me something here. I'm struggling. I need something. And Bert and I were actually going out this day. This was right after she passed. I don't even know if you remember this, but we went to a place and you was like, I'm just going to pick a random place to go get some food. And out of all the places for us to end up, we end up at a place called the Abuelas, which is grandma's in Spanish. And I was like, okay, the sign don't get any more potent than that. Like, Grandma, you killing this sign thing, And so as I'm telling Ed this on the phone, he's listening to me. And then at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't really think there's anything here, but let's just see. And then Ed kind of goes, what'd you say? And then he just stops. And I'm like, I didn't say anything. And so Ed is like, you didn't say anything just now.
This is on the phone.
This is on the phone.
Okay.
Like I'm in my apartment, and now I'm looking around because Ed got me scared. And I'm like, I promise you, I didn't say a word.
And for those of you that are listening for the first time this week, Ed is the dude that we send out. He owns Ghosts of Georgia Paranormal Investigation. So you were on the phone with him telling him what was going on in the apartment, right?
Right. And then right after I started to tell him about these signs that I believe were coming from my grandmother, because Ed had to educate me on that. It's not always going to be like things flying around and people always think it's that, but there's other ways that you can have spirits and they're not always there to harm you. You may not even know. They may be there to help you. And then that was when he heard something on the phone that I did not hear. And I'm like, I thought he was messing with me. I really did. And he was like,
Ed, don't mess.
No, because then he was like, I need a minute. I'm a little shook by what I just heard because it was that clear to him. And when he needed a minute, I mean, Ed do this for a living. If he is scared, how I'm supposed to feel?
What was said?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything, but Ed said he heard it loud and clear, and it wasn't me. So I don't know what it was or what he heard or what that could mean, but I knew then, okay, this is probably going to be something.
So even right now, you still don't know what Ed heard?
I have no idea.
Okay, so we're going to have to do this in two parts. So take us to the part where he comes over to your house then, and then we'll play the sounds when we come back. So he comes over, you're there, and do you stay with him during the investigation, or do you take off?
No, I didn't stay. I had some other things to do, and he said that was convenient for them anyway because they rather you not be there, so it was kind of perfect. I just gave him the apartment for a little while and went on about my business, and I thought, oh, they ain't gonna find nothing. They'll be done in like 20 minutes. Nah, they was there for a few hours. So I don't know what they found. I don't know what happened. I have no information. I just know that they were there long enough to make me think that they was finding something. And now I'm,
okay.
hesitant to want to know.
All right, like I said, we're going to do this in two parts. So, Ed, we got about a minute here. Why don't you tell us what you heard on the phone before you even went over to his apartment?
I heard Moe. Now, I've heard voices on the phone before talking to other people, but they sounded different. It sounded like Moe was started to interject something. And when he said he didn't say anything, all of a sudden, goosebumps, hair on the back of my head, I mean, everything, the whole 9 yards. And I don't get creeped out very often, but that creeped me out because it sounded exactly like Moe about to say something. And what I couldn't understand what was being said, but when it sounded like his voice and he said he didn't say anything, that really kind of freaked me out. I just didn't know what was going on. I think, Moe, you were putting your headphones on, and I asked him to do that again. He did. See if we could recreate the sound. Nothing. I mean, it just, nothing came back through. But, I've been thinking about that ever since I talked to him, and it's just, it still freaks me out thinking about it.
All right, so it sounded like Moe interrupting Moe.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
It was his voice.
Dude.
I swear to God, it was his voice coming through.
And I didn't say a word.
Damn, dude. All week long, we have sent Ghosts of Georgia paranormal investigations to different homes where the residents swear there are ghosts and spirits. So we send Ed over there with all of his freaky Ghostbuster stuff. And he comes back in, and each and every day he's been playing real sounds from real ghosts. Might have saved the best for last here, and it's our very own Moe, who thinks he might have himself a haunted apartment.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's been some things going on that have made me wary, especially, like I said, with that Ring doorbell with no one there and those voices. It's just something there. It's hard to deny.
So for those of you that missed it, Moe played for us the audio that his Ring doorbell picked up right outside of his apartment. And there's definitely some stuff going on there. So then a couple of minutes ago, we had Ed on saying that when he was talking to Moe on the phone about coming over, strangest thing happened. Like, Ed could hear Moe's voice interrupting Moe.
Yeah, because he asked me what I said, and I didn't say anything, and it messed that up. He said he was creeped out because he certainly heard my voice, and I did not say a word, so I don't know what he heard.
All right, so to add to all this info, if you are a new Bert Show listener, Moe had somebody very influential in his life pass away over the last year.
My grandmother passed away almost a year ago now, and we were extremely close, and I'd asked her right after she passed for some signs. I just wanted to feel her presence. I wanted to know that she was all right, and, Bert and I went out to eat. He was trying to help me feel better, and he just picked this random place that neither of us ever heard of, and it just happened to be a place called Abuela's.
It's like this little divey Mexican restaurant. I didn't even know the name of it, and I pulled up to it. I'm like, this looks kind of like this. I think we'd like this, and there it was.
Yep.
Grandma's, right?
You gotta be kidding me.
So Ed goes on over to Moe's apartment with all of his stuff, and Moe has no idea if Ed found anything at all. So Ed, you can take it from here.
All right, thank you, Bert. Good morning, everybody. We checked out that Ring doorbell. We went outside and activated it and moved around different parts of the hallway, downstairs, and carried on conversations. I sent Moe the time frame. I'm sorry, Moe, I was a little bit late getting it to you. So if he could go back and check that and see if he heard us talking with us being out of the Ring area, that would be great. Also, we checked on the rings, and it is a common occurrence that people will have their ring activate, but it's a glitch in the system, and what you have to do is reset it. Of course, most of the people claim it happens between midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning, so, something might go by there. But you may want to check on that and see if you have a glitch in your ring. Also, that noise that you heard.
That sounds that's like some kind of weird way to say somebody's crazy.
You got a glitch in
You
your
might
ring.
want to check if you got a glitch in your ring, man. Oh, my God, that girl's got a glitch in her ring, man. All right, go ahead.
It depends on who gives it to her, right? Anyway, we noticed there was a tarp out there in the hallway, so, and on your recording, we heard a big noise, so I was just kind of wondering if something might hit that tarp and made a loud sound. So, don't know why your ring activated at that particular time, so, you may want to check on it.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll go on to what we got. Are you ready to hear it?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All righty. Well, are you up for a roommate?
Ooh.
Come on, Ed. Don't. This how we starting? I don't sound like I have a choice.
Yeah. The first question was asked by Brian. where do you live? And we got an answer that says right here.
Can you tell me where you live?
I didn't hear
I
it.
didn't hear
Do that
it.
one more.
Can you tell me where you live?
Did it say Moes Soul?
No. that one might be reaching, but
Listen.
it kind of sounds
Listen.
like right here.
Can you tell me where you live?
It sounds like somebody saying right here.
Right here.
Was the follow-up question why you ain't paying rent?
Yeah. You want to chip in?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't answer that, though.
I bet.
Okay. On the next one, Shannon asked, who do you need to talk to? And we got your name, Mo.
Who do you need to talk to?
Damn, dude.
That one was a little more obvious.
Yeah.
The last one I was like,
Now-
but that one's...
In all the years we've been doing this, has anybody, Ed, any of these spirits ever called out the resident that lived there by name?
It's rare, but we've had it a few times, and but not as clear as it came out with Mo's.
Let's hear that again.
Who do you need to talk to?
Oh.
Hey, man,
Well,
what they want to talk about,
and
man?
And that's not the first time it happened. It happened again.
I think the next
Yeah.
EVP is going to tell you, you're wasting your time on the Cowboys.
Don't do that. It's not, yeah. Don't do that.
On the next EVP, what we got here, I was talking. It was quiet. We weren't getting responses, so I was saying, "Are we asking the right questions?" Brian said, "Maybe they're tired." And then we got a Mo again.
I'm asking the right questions. Or they're tired.
There it is at the end again. What? Does that sound anything like your grandmother's voice?
I can't make it out enough to know.
Can you crank that up a little bit more, Tommy?
Asking the right questions. Or they're tired.
Could be. It could be.
Nah,
I
you
can't
would
really
know.
tell.
You would know. Like, yeah.
It's so faint that it's hard to tell. But she did speak softly. So, I mean, I just don't know.
Could also
Well,
be
you know,
somebody
it
that worked
can't-
at Moe's Southwest Grill.
Oh, that's probably it.
Welcome to Moe's.
Yeah.
If you can, listen to them, in a quiet place with your headphones on, cut the volume up, and you may be able to understand or hear the voice in it.
Okay.
Okay. On the next one, Brian's pointing out there's several hospitals nearby, and he asked if you died at the hospital, and we get a response of, don't know.
Did you die in that hospital?
Is that a man's voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a man.
So
But
grandma's
again,
hanging out.
Well, no.
Really? That's what you got my grandma up there doing?
Grandma's up there
No.
on Tinder.
'Cause this isn't...
Oh my God.
man.
You have,
Grandma, you heard that, right?
you have to remember when they're using the spirit box, it's not the ghost voice. Like, they're using the sounds that are coming through.
It's flipping through frequencies.
Yeah, flipping through radio frequencies. So the ghost is speaking through somebody else's voice. It's not their voice. Now, when Ed shares stuff and they're not using the spirit box and it's just like the voice they get, then you know
different.
that's different.
Okay, on the next one, we got Brian asked, did you follow Mo? And we got a yes response.
Did you follow Mo?
They coming after you.
Stop laughing. This is
Hey.
serious.
They coming after you.
I'm
man.
around y'all a lot, so if they following me,
So
they up in here.
Oh, there's somebody in studio.
let me jump in on this one. This is one of my favorites. And this is one of those ones where it's a whisper and you have to listen really closely. Listen for the whisper.
You stupid idiot.
Wow.
You got none of us, by the way.
Damn it!
You got none of us.
Zero.
It's a cool little try, Tommy.
Wow.
One, we're all too tired from last night.
Yeah. James wasn't going to do it.
All right, Ed, back to yours. Back to the real ones.
So, after that question Brian asked, I followed up. I said, so you just started following Mo since he's been in Georgia, correct? And we got a no.
So you just started following him while you've been in Georgia, correct?
Okay, that sounded like a woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm And it was a very emphatic no.
That's
So,
interesting.
so this whatever entity is attached to you has been attached to you for a while.
Almost like your whole life.
Yep.
All right,
Maybe.
we have three
Wonder if it's
more.
my
Three
Nana.
more.
Okay, the next one, Brian, he asked what's your name and couldn't make out the answer at first, so he said, I'm hearing a few names in there, and we got this male voice saying Louis.
I'm hearing a few names in there.
Doesn't our program director, Louis Diaz, live in the same apartment?
Yes.
He's haunting you in real life and from beyond.
And he's lived in New York the majority of his life.
He can't
Louis
get
has
enough.
been following. Louis, stop following me, man. That's why he ended up next door.
That man
This been
loves
following
you.
me my whole life.
Yes, that is not a ghost. It's Louis downstairs going, you forgot to cut spots.
It solves everything.
Okay, on the next one, Shannon asked, is there something here that you like? And we got a response, a book.
Is there something here that you like?
A book?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm getting rid of all them books today. Ain't been no
Do
books.
you ever go out to used bookstores and buy used books or anything, or anybody give you a gift of a book?
I get a lot of gifts as books all the time.
Is it possible at all? I mean, look, this could be far-fetched, that this is like his grandmother trying to give him hints to read a book that is in, or is giving him an indicator that, yes, it's me. There's a book in there that will prove to you that this is me inside of your apartment.
Well, that's a good possibility. Is trying to point out something that might you and her may connect with, some kind of subject matter or something that you may be pointing out
I've got
for you to go look at.
I've got chills because she always sent me books like when I was in college. That was her thing. She's always sent me
Really?
books. Yeah, she's always sent me things to read like all the time. Always had me reading.
Well, that may be why we got that response on there. We don't know. It's kind of cryptic to us, but usually it's a message for the client. In this case, you.
And
Well,
now we've
this
come
next-
to the last one.
Is this going to be James Brown again?
No, no. This one is absolutely
Please listen
serious.
closely. Please listen closely on this one. It's very faint. Brian was asking, were you a relative of Moe when you were alive? And we get a yes. And to us, this kind of sounds like an older, fragile lady.
Were you relatives of Moes when you were alive?
I heard it at the end.
It makes me think it's my Nana because she passed away when I was about 9, and my grandmother has always told me that she was my guardian angel. So if she's been following me my whole life, that's what makes me think it is.
Can you play that one more time, Tommy?
Were you relatives of Moes when you were alive?
Whoa. Well, if it is my Nana, she don't have to pay rent. That's fine.
How do you feel about all that?
I'm getting chills, man. To be honest, I mean, I don't know how to take this in or to process it, but I do feel like if it is a spirit there, it is someone close to me that's kind of just with me. So that doesn't make me feel uneasy or anything. It just makes me wonder, like, what's really going on. That's
Right.
crazy.
You rather it be the ghost you know than a strange ghost.
For sure.
Right.
I really do pray it's somebody I know.
Ed, you did a great job again this week. We send you all over the place, and there you are. Ghosts of Georgia Paranormal Investigations. You have a website with that name on it?
Yes, sir. Sure do. We have a Facebook page also.
All right, so if you think these are the kind of things that are going on in your house and you want concrete proof, Ghosts of Georgia Paranormal Investigations. Thanks, Ed.
Thank you, Bert. Have
Thank
a
you,
great
Ed. Kind of.
day. Take care.
Yeah, you might have a couple of things to chew on today,
Yeah,
man.
I think so.
The Bert Show.